Some people are going to judge you. That's what they do. And as long as you know that it's not about you, other people's judgments define them, not you, you are free. There was a time in my life where I was in relationship with a man who was twice my age. We were madly in love. We were together for about 5 or 6 years at this point when we went to this gorgeous restaurant in Los Angeles. And just like every single time we went out together, I was dripping in shame. I was terrified every time I went out that people were judging us, criticizing us, looking at us. As I approached this restaurant, dressed up, looking great on the outside, my mind was a mess. My mind was terrified of everybody's opinions that were about to shoot at me as soon as I opened the door. As I'm standing next to the man I love, I feel nothing but fear. I feel nothing but terror of what these people are going to think, and my hands are literally sweating, my heart is pounding, and everything in me starts to shrink and shrink and shrink down. The waiter comes over to guide us to our table, and as he guides us to the table, I feel everyone's eyes on me, and the fear in my head says everyone is going to be judging me because they see me as a young, beautiful gold digger, and this man as a slimy, old, dirty man. And that couldn't have been further from the truth. We were in a profound relationship. We were on the verge of marriage. We were in love. And it hurt so much in my heart to believe that these people were actually judging us. Every time we went out, I was in so much shame. This particular night, we walked over to our table, and I just remember looking down at the waiter's heels. All I could do was shrink and look at the floor and stare at his heels and pray to get to our table as quickly as possible, because walking through the sea of people in the restaurant, this crowded, bustling Hollywood restaurant, was sending me into terror. Just as I'm getting ready to sit, I put my bag down and relief is waiting for me. Finally, I can be in our little bubble of love without worrying about people looking at me. In that instant, my partner at the time asked the waiter for a different table. He wanted the one across the restaurant in the corner. Everything in me that started to open and relax suddenly clenched up all over again. I was terrified and so angry at him. I honestly wanted to strangle him. I was so mad that now we were going to be the center of attention again. So as we're walking through the restaurant, I'm literally looking straight back at the waiter's heels, staying really small, doing my best to shrink my energy so that nobody sees or notices us. And right when we get to the middle of the restaurant, my partner stops. He turns around, he grabs me by the shoulders, he looks me straight in the eyes, and he says, "Look up." And I am like this. "Look up, Vettel. Now, look up." He couldn't handle my shame for one more minute. 5, 6 years of this, he was done. He was done with the illusion in my head. He was done with me being ashamed of myself, of him, of us. He forced me to look up that night. And as I looked up in that restaurant, in the middle of the restaurant, I look up at one table. Everyone's laughing, enjoying their meal, eating. I turn around. He goes, "Look at the next table." I look all the way around at every single table until I turn around back to where I started. Not one set of eyes were on us. Everyone was so absorbed in their own lives, in their own conversations, in their own stories, that they didn't even see us. 5, 6 years of me hiding and being in shame was all because of my mind, not because of reality. So that night, we got to the table, the perfect table in the restaurant, and he said, "Vettel, tonight we're going to sit tete-a-tete." I think that's how you say it, side by side, not across from each other. "Let's sit with our backs against the wall. Let's look at the restaurant. I want you to see something." And he said, "Vettel, you are the star of your movie. All these people, they're extras. You've been so focused on the extras. You've been so focused on what they are thinking of you that you have forgotten to live the star life, to live the powerful life, to live your life." That night, my whole mind changed. Everything shifted because I realized that I had been living in so much suffering for no reason. And I share this with you because if you are hiding in any way, if you are ashamed of some part of your life, or if you have something in your heart that you want to deliver into our world, but the only thing holding you back is that you don't want to be seen, you're afraid that people will look at you, you're afraid to be judged, then keep watching. Because the 3 things I want to share with you are this. Number 1, nobody cares for the most part. Everybody is so absorbed in their own lives. They're the stars of their movies, and you're the extra in their movie, okay? They're so absorbed in their movie, they're not thinking about or paying attention to you. And I want this to be a relief, just as a relief as it was for me to finally sit in that chair for that moment. I want it to be a relief that when you walk in the room, knowing that everyone's focused on themselves, I want you to feel relaxed and relief in your skin, no matter where you are or who you're with. The second thing I want you to know is, yes, of course some people are going to judge you. That's what people do. Some people are going to be triggered by you. Some people aren't going to like you. That's the nature of being visible. That's the nature of humanity. The thing that helped me the most was realizing that no matter what, people were going to judge me either as the gold digger, which couldn't be the further from the truth, or they were going to judge me as disempowered because I was shrinking and hiding and whatever. They will judge the polarity. They'll judge anything. But what helped me is to realize, this is what my teacher, Leonard Jacobson, really helped me to realize through the years. For over 12 years of working with him, I finally got to the place of, wow, other people's judgments define them, not me. What people think about you defines them, not you. Because it basically articulates that they're in a space of judgment. They're just in the mindset of a judgmental, critical person. They're in the energy of judgment. That's all it says. And actually that opens my heart to compassion, because imagine how they feel running through their lives, constantly criticizing others. Imagine how hard they're criticizing themselves. The third thing I want you to know is that the reason you're afraid, if you are, of being visible is because in the past, being seen was directly connected to being criticized. And the solution to this is to become so kind to yourself, to develop a voice of kindness that becomes so rich that your kindness, your self-kindness floods the world. And then you actually become a superstar, not just the star of your movie, but you become a superstar of kindness, where your kindness is flooding you within and it naturally floods without. So if you are afraid to go out there and share yourself, I want you to remember this story. I want you to remember that nobody really cares, number 1. Let that be a relief, right? It's like drop the me, and go into generosity. Go into what can I give versus what can I get. As soon as you relieve yourself of needing other people's approval, you literally take all your power back. And you can walk into any place confident, glowing, kind to yourself, radiating like the star that you are. The second thing I want you to know is that, yeah, some people are going to judge you. That's what they do. And as long as you know that it's not about you, other people's judgments define them, not you, you are free. And the third thing I want you to remember is that your kindness towards yourself, the most important self-care practice you can bring into your life, is to flood your heart, your body, your mind with kindness. Be good to you. And when that voice of self-criticism comes up, just know it's the human program. It's not the truth. And you, me, we have the power to migrate out of that and start to create a new program in our world, a true program. Start to create a new conversation that looks more like, I love you, you're beautiful, I accept you as you are. I hope that this video serves you in some way. If it has, if you've enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know you enjoy this type of content. And if you haven't already subscribed to this incredible soul family, hit the subscribe button. Join us on this journey together. If you want to take your journey to the next level, Jason and I have created something incredibly exciting. It is called the Diamond Dojo. This is a monthly mentoring program with us focused on helping you to spar with that critical voice in the mind and awaken into higher levels of consciousness, really grow on your personal development and spiritual path. So if that interests you, go to thediamonddojo.com. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.